Hello, good evening. This is Rajul Dutt. Now, yesterday I was discussing on leadership skills have to do with the managerial aspects. So basically, yesterday, people, and when we talk about leadership, it is more associated with you managerial skills or may have adequate knowledge about technical knowledge about doing the work good at implementing the ideas or into action, but the problem is sometimes that he or she is not able to influence the people to work upon his or her vision. Now, this is very important. This is where the skill related to when we talk about the political aspects, it's not political. Your own, by your vision, by your as to what you want to achieve. It is more of a trust building, more related to who you are in very thin line, particularly emphasizing upon the leadership skills. They are very thin because manager ought to be leaders. But again, I say managerial post or the managerial aspect are the more related to the technical knowledge, experience, and expertise. But influencing people to work with you for you, that is the whole idea of having this topic. Now, from that, I'm carrying forward from from the my last video, that was yesterday's video, and I was discussing upon the I tried to come to an understanding as to what does this management and leadership separately means to us, and then how to club it. Now today I will focus on only on the leadership aspects, and that too in doing the work. So that managerial aspects or the management aspect that would be understood, that when I'll discuss upon the various aspects of leadership or various skills of leadership or the characteristics of the leadership, I'm referring to the a business manager in particular. So yes, it is again, it is very important for us to understand. The more you energize people in your workplace, the more the highly is the work performance. The whole the work performance of the people is as to how good you are in motivating the people, in energizing. Motivating is in the sense to to energize people, that the people who they should not be told to do the work, and they should do it on their own. Now this kind of it looks like a philosophy, but it works positive as far as the business organizations are concerned or the workplace is concerned. In the workplace, the positive energy, the movement of the positive energy, flow from of the positive energy from the top leader to the to down the line, the people who are associated with you, the impact of your decision making should, it reaches to the people, and the people, they should have trust that in you. And now building trust is, building confidence and trust is very important if to lead the people. So because when you are able to energize people, you are able to attract the talent towards you. Yesterday I mentioned about the why should the people, they will associate with you in your vision. In your vision, it's not everybody's vision, it is the vision of the leader. He or she is looking out in a bigger perspective as to what to achieve 2 years hence, 5 years hence, 10 years down the line. And the people, they're working, they look upon you, something, and they, they might not understand at various levels, because they're a lower level or the middle level. It is very difficult that they, within the time frame or the experience they have, it is very difficult to look beyond a certain limit as far as the expectations of the organizations is concerned. So if you are able to energize people, they will come with the new ideas, with the information and opportunities. They'll put up before you. This is very important. If you make the people, to work for you, so it is only then they come up with certain ideas. And any idea, the leader should be very open to all the people. Open in the sense he or she should listen about the people. It's not listening about from the people. It is then see to it whether to take it on the merit of the idea. If the idea is good, that is beyond your you should be able to appreciate the person or the group of people who have put in a particular idea or a particular aspect of doing the things which might be a good then as to what you ought to do. So this is very important comes to it. All said and done, this it seems to be easy, but it's practically, this is the biggest hurdle in the minds, this is blockage in the mind of the most of the top people, that it becomes, even if they agree with the people down below there of the ideas or of their suggestions, but it is very difficult to get it and to subside your own idea in front of the idea of the people. But the whole of the theory is, that if you're working as a group leader, you take the people into confidence, and if you get a good idea or a good suggestion, you should be able to take it as it is. So there is a power associated with positive leadership. If the leadership is a positive leadership, we do not have yesterday I also mentioned that it is not sometimes it do's and don'ts. It is not like that way. It is positive is that you are with a positive mind frame, and it is then the people they believe in you, go with you. So and when we talk about positive mind frame, I'm referring to the optimism. It's not pessimistic attitude or pessimistic behavior is known to the people. It is very easy for anybody to judge. But if you have got a positive outlook, if you have got optimistic approach of solving a problem, of tackling the problem, it is then it becomes it overcomes the negativity in the minds of the people, because people, they do have a certain mind frame. Most of the times it is negative. If you go to asking people to that I'm going to do this, it is very becomes rather obvious that 60 to 70% of the people would reject your idea then and there, even without listening, without evaluating. So this is the case with everybody then. So uh, that is why today I will focus on as to what I mean by optimism or by positive uh, leaders, as to what the positive leaders, they are demanding and not demeaning. Let us understand this basic fundamental aspect of a leader or a manager. In most of the times, I have been into industry for such a long time, 14, 15 years, and then into academics for the last 25 years. I have been associated with not many organizations, and big organizations, smaller organizations, and this becomes I have worked under so many people, though I'm thankful to all the people as to what I am today. That is because of the people I've got associated with, learns with so many people. But having said this, important is that in most of the times it is more of demeaning rather than demanding. Well, if you are demanding, there's nothing wrong in it. If you are demeaning, demeaning is that you are not giving proper weightage, proper importance to the people who are working with you, who are associated. The whole concept is, it's not working under you, it is working with you. If you as a manager, as a leader, is able to visualize this particular concept, that it is not, you're not, you are working along with the people and not under people. So I mean, for the explanation, I do use the very particular concept, but more so I also try to put it into though we are working for organization at various levels, and maybe you are on the top, but it should be, if you take along, it is if you work along with the people, it gives better results in an easier way, rather than if you're people if you are demeaning the people at various level and try to put it, things become a little more difficult to get the things done. So again, the basic fundamental is uh, to understand is, one is to connect one to one. Now it looks to be a hectic job, or it looks like as to now how 100 people, 200 people, 400 people, it's very difficult. It's not that way. It's one two way is whenever you are in conversation, whenever you come across the people, they should feel that you do know the person, or you do interact with the person on an individual basis, and not as to someone from the group. And this is again, very important for a leader, to to get connected with the people on one-to-one basis. And if you are able to, this is what I'm trying to emphasize upon, is that I believe also into this, that uh, it is like when you're coming across the people, you talk to the person irrespective of their job, irrespective of their position in the organization. If you give a little more time to the people, not just discussing about the organization, but discussing about the personal also, uh, it makes a sense, and it is then a sense of belongingness. What we study, it comes into practice. Another is has to create positive change inside out. Now, what do we mean by positive? Leaders believe that they can influence events and outcomes by the way they think and act. It is, one should not be more influenced by the outside things. Inside, it is very important to influence, so that to combat the adversities from the outside. The outside is, you can you can fight the battle with the outside forces only when your inside forces is you are prepared with this, mentally and physically. They are you with the organization, with you as a leader. It's so this is what inside and outside, though all outside forces, they more or less, they seems to be negative in the sense that not very encouraging things are happening, which are not beyond your control. But what is under your control is the people who are working with you inside the organization. So again, very closely, I've mentioned about it is, as a manager, as a leader, you should be able to encourage people rather than instead of discouraging people. It is most of the time, it is, we talk about discouraging people. I do agree, when the people work, they make mistakes, and they cannot be appreciated on the mistakes. This is not the idea of saying discouraging. Discouraging is, you know, uh, in certain ways it is, but when you give the work to the person, if you are not confident enough to give the person, so you say, okay, fine, देख के चलना, ठीक से करना. So you try to, you try to demean the person when you say, give the work, and then you say, ठीक से करना. So ठीक से करना, if the person knows about S2, and why do you then again giving the work to the person whom you do not believe in? So that means that there is certain hitch, between two people. You're giving the work, and then you are not trusting the other person. This one line, one sentence plays a very important role, in making, in encouraging or discouraging the other person. Now, this is very often, I have come across so many examples like this, and it happens on daily basis. This should be avoided by this, rather than we should have faith in the people, and when before giving the work to them, we should look upon these things. Seems to be very small, but they play a very vital role in getting the organization, in the success of the organization, in the success of the person as a leader, as a manager. Therefore, uh, again, it says, stop complaining and blaming. Now this blame game, this is the fundamental game in the business organization. That's absurd in any kind of organization. Blame game plays has its own way out of doing the things. If certain thing goes right, okay, fine, I did it. And if certain thing goes wrong, it's very easy to go for a blame game. So this is not, the leader should owe the responsibility of the people who are working with him, rather, or working under him. For understanding, I'm using this terminology, the people working under him. Otherwise, it is the people along with him. So this is very important for us to understand. And most of the times we focus as to where we are. It is not to focus as to where we are, to focus upon as to where you want to go. So again, the objective, or the bigger perspective, I say, the goal should be very clear in order to on in the way, we do focus sometimes, we get entangled into day to day problems, and we talk about or think about the problems on the small problems in a bigger perspective, and we look out, we target is not been seen. So focus on as to where you are going. So this is very important, not where as to where you are, as to where you are. You don't have to keep on evaluating as to where you are. The more important is as to where you are. No, it is as to where you want to reach. This is, I'm so sorry, this is this. And lead the people with love instead of fear. Now, in it is, very, again, very easy to say, but it is, in all the business organizations, I mean, not all the, technically, not on the words, but it is here with most of the organization. Let me put it this way. It is a fearful, atmosphere all over the place. We do upon blah blah blah, but the fear does exist in the minds of the people, and this fear again becomes a deterrent for the improvement of the people, for the upliftment of the people who are working for you, or for the that means, or for the organization. Therefore, so it is, if you lead by leading by love means that you love your job and the people, then it is only you get associated with the people. If there is a fear, they will work it at, but the difference between when you technically talk about. So instead of having a fearful atmosphere in the organization, if it is something with the easy atmosphere and ease in the atmosphere, I believe that gives more faster results and the appropriate correct results. And the last is not the last, but what is coming to my mind or popping to my mind up now is by demanding, and without demeaning. This is again, I'm emphasizing about it should not be demeaning the people, but you should be demanding, because unless and until you as a leader is demanding, the output or the outcome will not be exactly the same as to what you think. So one has to be demanding in order to get the big results, but that does not mean that you demean the people. And it is most of the times, it is demeaning the people when you very often you hear in a business organizations, you are not good, this is bad, or something like that. I don't think these things should not be there. If the person has done mistake, what should be treated with a little, uh, not harshly, but if certain things are accommodative in nature, it should be, one a leader should be very accommodative in nature, unless and until not to put up into organization into backstage. But this is not I want to intend to say, but what I intend to say is it's not required every time also either to to go with one philosophy for every time, for even a smaller or a big, I don't consider mistakes, but if some wrongdoings, let me put it this way. So putting all the things in together, let me, but for the students or for a business professionals, let me put up as to uh, what should a leader or a business manager therefore considering as a leader, as the core leadership skills. Therefore, one is integrity. Now, integrity is very important. Integrity is the importance of integrity should be, very obvious. It is very essential when we talk about it, individual and the organization. That is, integrity is your association with your work and with the organization. Most of the time, it's lacking. Uh, you know, those who are working in a business organizations or working somewhere, they understand as to the very word of integrity should be there, but as to how does it in practical works out to be, this is not good for the organization. So integrity, in the sense, the manager should be able to put up an atmosphere, environment, create an environment where the people, they are willingly offer their services and suggestions. Ability to delegate. Unless and until the responsibilities are being delegated, no work can be done, because this one person cannot do all the work, and therefore, he or she has to as a top manager, has to delegate his or her work and responsibilities to the other person with ease. Now, there should not be any ambiguity, because you one should trust the people who are working with the leader or with the uh, manager, for that matter. I'm using these two words because it is, again, I have to summarize it, that the leadership skills are very important for a manager to understand and to implement. Then, uh, therefore, so again, important aspect is communication. Communication is better conversations which can actually improve your organizational culture. If you are you are interactive with the people, it's not always you're talking about work, but it is, both work plus other you should be open to the people, and the people should be open to you. There should not be any psychological barrier, though everything is open to a policy and blah blah blah. But the only thing is that you don't make invite the other person to come up to you and say something. So this is what we are calling it as of psychological blockages in the mind of the people, and it should be removed. They should not be there unless and until there is a free flow of information. um, uh, this is what we mean by communication. If there is a free flow of the information, most of the problems, they are rectified then and there, or maybe the problems do not come up, because you don't hide anything information. You share the information if it is if there is a possibility to rectify, so that can be rectified. It is only then one identify at the problem and put it in front of the people. So this is where there should be a free flow of information from top to bottom and from bottom upwards. Another important aspect is self-awareness, as to how good you are in understanding yourself. If you are able to understand yourself, it is then you will be able to understand the people who are working along with you. So understanding yourself, so that it helps to be more effective. If you can be very effective with the people, with dealing with the other people. Inwardly focused skill hota hai. I mean, when talk about self awareness, this is an inwardly focused skill as to how much you know about yourself. To tend to know about the people working around you, but it is very when it comes to your self knowledge, it becomes difficult to accept certain things, accept certain uh, aspects of life, aspects of the personality. And unless and until you are also open, so you are self-aware as to where you require more improvement, or what are your positive skills, so that you be able to exploit your skills in order to communicate with the people, or in order to work along with the people. Another important aspect is gratitude. Now, gratitude can lead to higher self-esteem, reduce depression and anxiety. And at any business organization, no matter how good policies, how much good internal environment is, but there is always anxiety among the people. There is always depression among the people, because people that are coming from various backgrounds with the various technical skills, and because there is always a problem. There is not always there is no one good day when we call it in a business organization that this is a good day and we do not have any problem. So if it is, if this is not the case, then the case is that the people who are working in this environment, they tend to be depressed. And anxiety plays an important role. So in order to to have a better sleep, learn to how to give thanks and practice more gratitude. So these are the small things, we do it. Gratitude. If somebody has done good, or somebody has done work some for you, you should thank the other person then and there. And and this gratitude plays a important role. We all understand, but it's very difficult. We all understand certain things, but when it comes to the practical implementation for the top management or for the top person, now these terminologies becomes something that's very missing in any kind of organization with any place. So, but the basic fundamentals remains the same. If you are able to do the carry out with yourself higher ups, and you create these things in an environment, definitely a positive or environment is or the positive energies flow. Uh, in and around the organization, your business organization. Influence is again very important. Now, you should be able to convince people through logical, emotional, and cooperative appeals. Now, this is again very important to have. I've taken a lecture on emotional intelligence, and I've covered this portion very elaborately as to, a leader should be emotional and logical, and cooperative appeals there should be. This is all three put together. It's not, which one higher or which is a mixture of how what percentage. No, no, I'm not talking about the percentage in the mixture, but what I'm discussing is that these three aspects should be in the personality of a person, and it is all these three put together. It will lead you to influence the people according to as to what you and how to influence you. That becomes very important. So it's not. It is. It's. Let us not confuse it with manipulation. Manipulation is a separate aspect altogether. I don't want to even discuss it as to what we know the very meaning and the very outcome of the manipulation. So the manipulation is a separate. It's manipulation, is a different aspect. Let not I discuss it here on this channel, but again, I will focus only on to influence people to do the work, and it should not, in a way, being related with the philosophy of manipulation. Empathy is again correlated with the job performance, and it is the critical part of a leadership effectiveness. Empathy is, if you are able to do the work, it is only then you ask the people. So if you are in the place of the other person as to how would you feel, how would you see it to it. So this is empathy. And again, there is no parameter to measure about the empathy, but yes, of course, if it is there, you tend to become a good manager or a good leader. Therefore, again, courage is hard to speak because up at the work, whether you voice a new idea, provide a feedback, or show a concern for someone above you. So this is what, the courage. If you place the other person above you, if you listen to the other person, this requires courageousness, to in simple words, it is to digest so many things. It is very difficult to digest, from the other person, but you should have the courage to say, even I say, thank you or sorry for that matter. Thank you again is a simple term to say, but if you have done something wrong, you should have the courage to say sorry then and there also. So this is not one aspect of it. So another aspect is it requires, a courage. That's the part of the courage is, to put your concern above, to put your concern below for in the eyes of the other person. And the last is the respect. Treating people with respect on daily basis is one of the most important thing a leader can do. It will ease the tensions and the conflict and create trust and improve the effectiveness. So giving respect again is very important. I mean, I don't think it is a small thing, but again, uh, earlier said, if giving respect, that means you will not demean the person. So there is a very fine line to distinguish between as to where you demean the other person and where to respect it. So all these things again put together, this is not one and one. This is all, and at the same place. If all the factors what I've discussed, 7, 8, 9 factors. So if they are at one level, they are not like one. It's not because to understand the various characteristics, I have to go for their it's not in their logical order or into alphabetical order or something, but because I have to discuss, I have to put it in an order. But for a leader, it should be at the same level. There should be no one or which is better, which is not better. We should take it as one. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. Should you have any question, you put that into comment box, and I'll come up with with an answer for that, or try to remove the obstacles. One thing I would like to bring to your notice that now I'll be coming live on every Saturday and Sunday 8:30. 2 days for my live videos. Thank you so much for joining me.
नेट का तो सही कर दीजिए पूरे
Hmm?
टाइम सामने आ गया